Yes.
Okay, thanks. So, good morning, everyone, and a very happy new year. And thanks for joining on a Saturday morning. And I'm excited to share our help site journey so far. And I would just dive into and get started. This is what our help center is called. It is called Precisely Help Center. This is the URL for our help center. That is precisely.com, and I've just given a QR code in case anyone want to like scan and go through side by side while we are going through the presentation. And I would appreciate questions at the end, as Pune said, so that we can go through the presentation uninterrupted and with the demo also. Okay, moving on. So before I go into the details, I want to talk about the earlier or the older experience that we had with our content delivery. So, from the content strategy perspective, our deliverables were very static. So, some of them were PDFs, some of them were web helps, and in some cases, they were also a combination of both for the same product, which created inconsistent delivery mechanism. And then we had a manual publishing process where we use Oxygen to author the content. We used to generate the output in the form of PDFs or web helps, and then we used to upload it on our the AWS S3 buckets, which were at the back end, and then they were rendered in the front end using the WordPress as the customer facing website. And from customer experience, that led to very difficulty in accessing the content, as the customers needed to go to a specific URL and search for their product, and then go into the particular help document and then search into it. So they needed to go through multiple PDFs to reach a single point of contact for the content. And there are situations where we know that what we have to find, but we are not sure exactly where to find it. And in that case, you can end up like looking through multiple documents separately, and then reach to the content that you are looking for. And the last part is the metrics, where we did not have any mechanism to gauge on how much our content is being viewed, like how much popular it is, or how much a specific document or a topic is being viewed, what is the topmost or the most important topic, and so on. And then that also was a lack of a feedback mechanism from the customer point of view. We obviously have internal review processes, but that's limited to the technical part and the part where we do before releasing a content, right? But what we felt missing was something when the content is out to customers. What is that the feedback that they are giving, like what they are talking about the content, whether it is useful, whether it is not, whether they think that something is missing, and so on. And that is the major part that was missing. And then how did we go about it? A quick like a walkthrough. So the first part was where we took a pilot contract. So our help center is Fluid Topics, that is the vendor. And then we started the pilot in September 2022. And then as we started it, we realized different aspects that what we need to prepare for that migration. May it be data files, may it be certain other things. And then there was the writers part, or the efforts that were required for prepping the files. And by prepping, I mean adding taxonomy. So on the help center, we use taxonomy that in turns helps to derive search content using the search facets. So let's say a product, and then the product taxonomy has to be to those specific documents, so that when the customer is searching for a specific content using the product search filter, he is able to find it. So that is what prepping files by the writers. And then initially we had a manual publication process, even when it was on the new help center, where we had to like download and prepare a zip of it, and then go to the Fluid Topics environment, go to the admin section, and then publish and upload the zip there, and then publish it, which was quite not very convenient, and it took a lot of manual efforts, right? So then we built an automation where we can directly publish right from our CCMS, which is Data 2, and into we use Git pipelines. So it pushes the content, or it creates it creates the zip. It pushes using the pipeline, and then from Git pipeline, the zip is pushed to the Fluid Topics. And when it reaches there, So in our help center, again, we have two environments. So one is a QA environment and one is a prod, right? So first it goes to QA environment. The writer has to go through the QA of it, look for everything is like as expected. There are no issues, and then when that is made sure, we push it to the production environment, which is customer facing, right? And the last is nothing but we got most of our content in almost a year. So we have like huge set of content. We have almost around 50 plus products, and we prioritized based on what releases are upcoming, and then that is how we planned for our work, right? And nonetheless, we had hiccups as well. How we started was the funds, and very less of us talk about it, but that's the most crucial part whenever we are choosing a tool set, right? And then we had to run through different competitor analysis, what they are offering, like to the similar domain that we have, how is their help site, and what we need to make our customer experience a lot more better, right? And that in turn had also like cost analysis, which fits into the organization's fundings, and then proposing that to our executive leadership team, and then showcasing the ROI on that solution, right? And then when we started with the pilot contract, the obvious challenges were putting a lot of things into 3 months. So we had to test as much as we can so that we are able to gauge the usefulness of that platform, right? And that also included higher complexity of the documentation. So by that I mean the way each documentation or the product supports content is different. It may be the source is different, it may be the way the content is structured is different, right? And nevertheless, the unexpected issues that again might be because of the legacy content or the way the things are done since a long time, right? And as a part of legacy content, it usually happens that, let's say there was an example where we had files in FrameMaker, and there was an index. So even until like few couple of releases, they still followed that there was index, there was a preface, which when we had to move on to the help center, that did not like made sense, right? So that was a part of not exactly issues, but we had to take consider those, right? And when we moved to the implementation, the it was the migration where we had to do it along with the ongoing releases, right? We did not want to impact anything, even when we are trying to implement the new help center. That included we also had to do in some cases a dual release. In that case, we had to publish our help the way it used to be and also on the help center, and then try to pitch our product management that start communicating to customers that we are also going to have this new help center and we are going to transition to this new process, right? And some of the products almost took a year because of the complexity, because of the set processes they have. And uh, I mean, some of them even had the content being bundled into the product when they are delivered, and that was specifically for the on-prem products. So we had to like set up a process, have stakeholder meetings, and try to convince that this is what we have to change and why we have to change, right? And again, putting quality gates on prod was important. We had to set guidelines, because anything who pushes without any thought process, or something is even messed in the QA and then goes to prod, that directly is customer facing, and we did not want that. So that was a challenge where we had to set up. So we started having these meetings called as pre-prod meetings, where there were certain internal ID team stakeholders who were supposed to like give a quality check on that content, and like give a go ahead that this is now production ready. So that was certain couple of challenges. Now from the implementation part, what was it for information developers and as part from the efforts, right? So as I talked about, adding a taxonomy was the biggest efforts. And from that, I mean, suppose it has to be a correct taxonomy. Now I cannot tag product A with product B, right? In case if someone is trying to search from the search facets, he will land on to the wrong content because of the wrong taxonomy being applied. And that taxonomy had to be applied at the data map level and the topic level as well. And that is since because our main content source is data, but another effort was also to uniform that source. Now, since we had some of the products that were acquired, we had different sources. Some of them were in FrameMaker, some of them were in Flare. Now that had to be again converted, that had to be cleaned. By cleaned, I mean if it is a FrameMaker, that there can be certain things which were like redundant after the conversion. So that had to be cleaned up by the writer and make sure that the content source is ready to be published on the new help center. Right now about the technical help. So again, that was a combination of external, that is the vendor help, and the internal is our technical people and professional services from the vendor, that is Fluid Topics. They helped us set up the initial look and feel of our help center, and also helped us with some guidelines to follow to implement certain things. But the internal team was very crucial, specifically for the UX team, who helped us design our help center, considering the landing page and everything, which we will of course drive into the demo at the end. And then that to implement the UX, that is where the UI folks helped us to like the CSS changes and the backend changes and everything. And our landing page itself had so many changes that it evolved with feedback, and again, the way it has to be, how it provides better customer experience and so on, right? And some things were also required both efforts. For example, we have single sign on our help center. So whenever someone from our organization signs into the help center, he did not create a password, right? He just have to create a profile giving a first name and last name, and he's logged into the help center. But someone who is viewing outside the organization, he still can view it. That is not a part, but there are certain features of the help center that he cannot use until he is logged in and has an account in the help center. So that is where the difference is. And from the tools and process perspective, what we followed was we already have Oxygen XML author as the authoring tool. We already have Data2 as a CCMS and version control. And then that is where we changed is the last part where we implemented Fluid Topics as our CDP, that is the content delivery platform. And then again, we have two different environments. First is the QA environment, where we test whatever we publish as the first phase, and then when it is all perfect, we push it to the production environment. And the process altogether is the content being authored, content being make sure that it is pushed to the CCMS, and then from CCMS we have few clicks which uses Gitline pipelines to push the content from CCMS to CDP. And again, from CCMS, when it is pushed, it first goes to QA, it is validated, and then it is pushed to production. So this is so far the implementation efforts that were put by as an information developers, our own technical people, and what were the tools and processes involved, right? Now, after everything happened, what is the change that we received, or what is the how did we empower our customer and our own team, that is the information developers, right? From the content strategy, we completely changed or revamped the process, right? We standardized the way of publishing. So earlier we used to require to build the output from Oxygen, but we do not do that anymore, right? So whenever we author it, we directly check into our CCMS, and from there we push it using the tool that we have a plugin into our CCMS which pushes the content to a Git pipeline, and from there it goes to the content delivery platform, and from there it is live to customers, right? So this is an complete automated process that we have built in, which minimizes any human errors, right? So until and unless you have everything authored correctly and checked in correctly, there is no room or space to like miss out anything or anything to go wrong, right? And then customer experience. So customer experience, from that point we have now one place to search all they need, and that provides an exact googling experience, right? We go to Google, we search for what we want, we go through different links, and then uh, we go into something that we want, and that is the exact experience that we were aiming for. So now we have just one landing page, and when you search on that search bar, you are searching through the content set, that is everything on the help center. So it's not a specific document, and when you start typing it, it is like auto suggesting the topics, so you can either select from that directly, or when you hit the search, you go to that the list, and then you can filter what you want. Again, then this is what we will see in the, of course, in the demo, right? And then this helped them achieve their tasks faster, right? Because they are able to reach the content faster, they are able to reach the content that they want very easily, right? And then modernize content experience. Now by modernize I mean the help center itself provides a lot of features that help them personalize their content, so they can create their own bookmark topics and they can create a personalized content library. Now by bookmark I do not mean the web link, but again we will see what exactly all those features are. So it is like bookmarking specific topics from the help center. Whenever you run a search of a keyword, or whether you are selecting certain search facets from the filters, when you run that search you can actually save that search as well, right? And you can set an alert on that search, so whenever there is an update to that search list, the customer or whoever has set that alert will get notified through email. Then you can also print selected topics. So I can print an entire document. By print again I mean is saving it as a PDF, so I did not have a separate deliverable. So anyone who wants to share it across as offline uh, option, they can print selected topics, they can print entire document and share it, right? And then they can share the entire document link, or they can share specific links to a topic, right? That is what easy content access, or it's just one link for all. So I can share just help.precisely.com and ask anyone to like look into it and try to search whatever they need, right? And then more content awareness is where it became easier for marketing to include that in their marketing references. It became easier for product management to include it in the release announcement, and that served better and helped in more content awareness and having customers know that the content is there, right? And then moving to analytics and feedback is where we were mostly looking at, right? We are now able to derive the metrics that help us analyze and improve our content, right? And the feedback from the customers and the internal teams that we receive directly from the help center. Again, I will showcase an example how the feedback is received in an email whenever it is sent from the help center. So the feedback can be sent on a specific topic as well as the complete document as well, right? And they can even rate the content, of course. So everything that we have right now has helped bring additional value in the company. So the better customer experience, of course, that leads to less support tickets. And whenever there is something that goes to support, and they try to, of course, look into the helped content, and when they do not find it, that is logged as a feedback, and we immediately kind of improve and fill that gap within the content. So that is a continuous process. And the future roadmap is what we are trying to do is whenever a feedback is sent, so currently it is received in the form of an email, but we are aiming to have this process as well as automated, where every feedback will be logged as a Jira ticket and then assigned to the writer. But that is a lot more future to see, right? So this is an example of the feedback email. So the from is shows that who has sent the email, right? And then the feedback is sent to help feedback at precisely.com. This is a common email ID that we use, and that is then the emails are then forwarded to respective inboxes. And then this is the path of the topic where the feedback is provided. This is the metadata that is completely that is being applied to the topic, and this is the direct link where the feedback is given. And this is the actual feedback that has been provided, and it also allows to like add attachment to the feedback. So if someone wants to like refer, this can be mostly considered as an internal reference, that if someone wants to refer to a internal reference that they want to attach along with the feedback, which is helpful, and that can be done, right? The next is just like this is the recent excerpts from slide deck that were presented to ELT by our LT team. And this is possible only because of the new help center that we have. So it gives a brief summary of how many users total that we have on the help center logged, like registered, how many sessions that are happening per month, the total page views. By user assets, again, we will look into what exactly is bookmarks, personal books, collections, and saved searches. And content asset is that shows the number of content inventory that we have on our help center. So we almost have, as I said, all products. Then we have different forms of content. We have content, we have something called as schema files. We even have videos into our content. We also have a separate video publication. Then we are aligned to the current versions that are being released, right? And then again, this is the same. It just shows a different view. And this is specifically what it shows, the analytics in the product form. So these are the product, and it shows which is the most viewed content, right? These are the topics, how they have been increased through time. And the user assets, again, the feedback emails so far that we have received, and so on, right? So this was like quick overview of how it started and what was our journey. And I will just dive into the demo of the help site. Can you see my Chrome browser? Hello.
Yes, Akash, go ahead.
Okay, I thought I have lost. Okay, so this is the QA environment that we have, if you see in the URL itself. And this is where the help is first published, and when we make sure everything is fine, it is pushed to the production environment, which is help.precisely.com. Now this is our landing page that I was talking about, where a lot of efforts went into from different teams, may it be UX, may it be a UI team. And then as a writers also, we provided a lot of feedback and it went into it. So this is where it is right now, with a lot of progression and a lot of feedbacks and improvement, right? The way we have our products, we have different verticals. So this showcases our different verticals through our products, and then under that is the is our product documentation, right? Now let's say this is where the search I was talking about, which gives a complete googling experience. Now I can search for something that I want to achieve, and then that is the reason we focus mostly on something what a user would look for as a what he wants to achieve, rather than uh, something that is just on the product, right? So as I type, these are some topics that are being auto populated based on my search, or I can just hit the search, and then it will show me the list of topics and whatever matches my search criteria, right? Now this is the left side where are my different search filters. So if you will see, there are product type, there is product family, and then product. And let's say I want to narrow this down to a product family, so I can select a product family, and you will see the search results being narrowed. So it showed 21,000, now it's 400 results. So this is, and then again, I can copy this search filter and I can share it with someone who wants to like look through it. And then I can also save my search. So let's say, okay, now let's say I before I open it completely, I just want to preview this topic. So I can click preview. I can go through this topic, and it just gives me a glimpse of whether this is really what I'm looking for. If not, I can look into another topic. So this is what preview is, and it also gives you an idea of from where it is coming. So if you see, this is the publication name. So this is coming from this publication name, and it would of course be all data integrity suite, because that is the family that I have selected in the search pattern, right? Now let's open the topic. So if I open it, it will open that publication. Okay, so this is my publication. And then these are the different options that I talked about, which a customer can do. Only at the customer end, there is no topic metadata, because this is purely for the admins, as in here is for our team, that is information developers, where it shows what metadata has been applied to that particular topic, right? And then this is the bookmark that I talked about. So bookmark is within the help center to create a personalized experience. Now let's say I will keep the name as it is. I will save. Okay. This is the URL, sharing the URL to that specific topic. This is print topic. So if I click this, you will see my entire publication, and then I can actually choose what topics I have to print. And when I print, it will save as a PDF, right? And then this is the feedback part. So I can enter the textual feedback and I can attach the document as well. And then this feedback is in turn received by our team in the form of email. Then there are other options where I can add. So personal book is something where I can make our own personal book. So it can include topics from different publication, but I can view it at one place. So let's say I'm adding this as a personal book. So first let me create a personal book. So I will just create it for the demo. And then these are all the collections that are saved here. So whatever I bookmarked is shown here, and the list will populate whatever I will bookmark. Personal books is whatever we add into the personal book. So let's say uh, I want to add this topic. So this is the book that I can choose where I want to add it, and I will click save. Now this is from the data integrity suite publication. Now let's try opening a different publication and trying to add that topic into our collection from altogether a completely different publication. Now this is a map info pro help. So I can add it to personal book. Again, the same book, and I will click save. And I can again pick and choose whatever topics I want to add to that book, right? And then when I go into my book and open it. So if you see, this was from the data integrity suite publication, and this is from the map info pro, but it is at one place and it also has a personalized name. Right, so this can help something to keep together even if the publications are at different places, and I did not like need to go through different publications, each them open them every time and then look into it, right? So this helps to keep me everything at one place. And then talking about searches, so this is where I can keep a search alert. So this is what I talked about, is whenever this search query is like updated or changed, it will give an alert in the form of a notification through an email. And then last part I want to dive in is analytics. So this was all about the main customer facing capabilities that improves the customer experience. Now going to the analytics part. So again, there are a lot many, but we will just go through a couple of them which are like most useful. So this is like the summary of the complete help center, the most viewed document, and like how are the sessions doing through each period of time. And then going into content usage under knowledge hub. So I can filter this based on the metadata again, what we have set or whatever is available based on our taxonomy. Right, so I can, let's say, product family and apply. So this is the most viewed product family, and that's how it drills down. And when I hover, of course, it shows me the total number of views. Content inventory is something that tells us what is the amount of documents that we have on our help center. So again, this is in the form of books, unstructured documents, and what are the direct articles. So right now we do not have anything authored into fluid topics directly. That is the reason we do not have any articles, but we do have unstructured documents where we, in some case, in some products, we did not have converted the word docs yet, and they are like pushed to fluid topics as is, which are shown as unstructured documents. And document views is something on the document level, which is the most viewed. So this is the publication that is most viewed. And then going to topic views shows the highest viewed topic. Now this is the highest view topic. And then again, something that we find very important is the search analytics, where this search is based on what the customers are searching based on the search query and the search facet that they select, right? So if I drill down this, so this is the search, like the checkbox that I showed in the filter. So this is what it is the most search in product, and in product family this is the most searched, and so on, right? And then search term is something again gives us as an idea of what is the most searched term in the entire help center, right? In this case, this is the search term. And also there are times when a search query might have been entered but did not result anything, right? And this is where we target and kind of generate report at the end of you say every month, where we focus on what are the search keywords that were being searched and did not have any results. And then again we get a chance to analyze those and kind of prioritize based on the queries search. So there might be typos as well which shows, but we focus on what are the search term that makes sense and which is highly queried, right? Okay, so that was about the demo, and I'm open to questions. And of course, you can connect me with on LinkedIn. And as a part of demo, my role in this is individual contributor. So I try to get everything that I could. But if there is something that I cannot answer, definitely I will get back with the answer. And that's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akash. And very detailed one, and of course, very insightful. And as a result, as a punishment for that, you have a lot of questions waiting. Okay.
Okay.
So, probably we will not be able to take all the questions. So maybe I will ask a few, and after that, you can answer directly in the chat.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, so let me just ask a few questions. So Anandita asks, can you please explain the link between CCMS and Git? Does the same content live at both the places, or are they out of sync briefly?
So content do not live in Git. What we use GitLab is for just a pipeline. So the content is in the content repository itself. Uh, let's say this is our content repository. And whenever we just publish it from here, say publish to QA. And then the zip is created from the project. Earlier, as I talked about, we used to do a manual zip creation and then we used to upload on Fluid Topics. So it creates a zip on its own, and then it sends it to GitLab pipeline where it creates that process of creating the zip. And from there, it is pushed to Fluid Topics. So when I say push to Fluid Topics, it is here. So if I go to administration, so I have published content, and then we have to upload a zip here. So this manual process is what GitLab is used for. The content is only in repository. We do not have content on Git or GitLab. Does that answer the question?
Wonderful. I hope so. So we will discuss that in chat. But yeah, I think it answers. Another question from Kunal. This is a different one. What are the quality checks that you follow before pushing the content to prod?
The main quality check is the taxonomy. The search facets are applied correctly. So whatever content is on QA, we first apply the expected taxonomy and see the result is like as expected. There is nothing something that is showing inappropriately. or tagged appropriately. That is the first thing. Second is the copyright part that we have. So that is for our like legal reasons. So if I open a publication, we have this copyright. So that is what again is checked, and it is defined from again from the metadata. If the metadata is wrong, it will display a wrong copyright information. So these are the important checklist. Rest of all, it's like the common checklist that we have, whether everything is uh, the structure is correct, and everything is showing fine, if there are no errors. So sometimes it may happen that a particular tag, if it is introduced newly, that has not been configured at the back end of the Fluid Topic CCMS, it may showcase differently. So these are certain things that we validate, that let's say for example this, so this is tagged as file name in data, right? And then there might be some tag which is not appearing appropriately, and then that has to be set from the backend, and that is identified specifically in the QA. So these are like smaller checks that we do, and make sure that the content is ready to go on product.
Great, thank you. And so there are more questions, but I will just ask one more question, Akash, and after that, I will request you to just check the chat after your session
Yeah.
and respond to others. Okay. So I will mix the question of Shubhajit and Anandita. So their question is, who handles all the front end actions, search, save, logins? Is search a homegrown tool or a plugin, or you have embedded Google or Bing search?
The search is from Fluid Topics itself. They have their own capability, so it is not external. So as handles, as in, I did not
So
get that part.
who handles the front end? So is it Fluid, like what Anandita asks?
Front end, as in how it looks. If that is that you mean, then it is handled by our internal team now. As I said, we take help from the UI developers and our core technical people. If we want to like change something from on the front end, and maybe it be CCMS or it may be a JavaScript thing. So yeah, that is done internally, unless and until it is something that is too related and it cannot be like done from our end. That is the thing only that is taken up by the Fluid Topics. And again, on this, it's specifically we have a separate internal team called as ID Ops, or Information Developer Operations. So they manage this technical things. So they
Wonderful.
Thank you.
keep a
Thank you,
watch on.
Akash. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was my
thank you.
question. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let
Yeah,
me just
understood. Yeah.
close your session with one more question. I think that will interest others also. So that's why
Yeah.
Akash Raj asks, how much assistance did you or your team receive from the Fluid support team during the implementation or configuration of the doc site?
So from what I gathered for this presentation, I got to know that we took professional services from Fluid Topics, like any other for like any other product. When we buy, we get that assistance. So that was what we got, and we also got initial assistance to set up our site. But from what I know is, due to the complexity and how our earlier site was, it ended up something that we did not expect, and then we had to like use our people to kind of take it in that direction where the way we wanted to do. So yes, we did got pretty much assistance, and we still have contact persons from Fluid Topics. So whenever something that is not able to troubleshoot or like get it changed from our end, we have a contact where we reach out to the persons from Fluid Topics and they help us out.
Great. Okay, so in the interest of time, although there is a lot to talk, certainly with this topic, and we overshot at time also a bit, but I hope it's okay with all. It's a very interesting topic. And you also thank you so much, Akash, for your
Thank
time
you.
and all these detailed information. And it's really very insightful. And when you have time, you can just take a look in the chat box. And some
Sure.
questions I have not, whatever I have asked, I have already liked it. Whatever I have not liked, those are not asked. Okay, so please take a
Yeah.
look there. Thank you.
Thank you.